There's a certain magic to crafting something with your own hands, a satisfaction that comes from transforming raw ingredients into something special. And when that something special is a bottle of your own whiskey, the reward is truly exceptional. The process of making whiskey is a journey, a blend of science and art that allows you to create a spirit uniquely your own. From the selection of grains to the final bottling, each step plays a crucial role in shaping the final flavor profile. Imagine the aroma of toasted grains filling your kitchen, the gentle bubbling of the fermenting wash, and the anticipation as the distilled spirit matures in its oak cradle. This isn't just about making a drink, it's about engaging with a centuries-old tradition, connecting with the history and craftsmanship of distillers past. It's about understanding the transformation of humble grains into a complex and nuanced spirit. Homemade whiskey is a testament to patience and dedication. It's a project that unfolds over time, rewarding you with a spirit that reflects your personal touch. Whether you prefer a bold and smoky rye or a smooth and mellow bourbon, the ability to tailor the flavor to your exact preference is a truly empowering experience. The journey of making whiskey is as enjoyable as the final product. It's a process of learning, experimentation, and refinement. Every batch is a new opportunity to hone your skills and discover new flavor combinations. So embark on this adventure and discover the deep satisfaction of crafting your own dram. The heart of any good whiskey lies in the grains you choose. These humble kernels are the foundation upon which the entire flavor profile is built. The most common grains used in whiskey production are corn, rye, barley, and wheat, each contributing its unique characteristics to the final spirit. Corn lends sweetness and a creamy texture, while rye adds a spicy bite and dry finish. Barley, often malted to unlock its sugars, provides a biscuity and nutty flavor, while wheat contributes a softer, smoother character. The specific combination of grains you choose, known as the mash bill, will dictate the overall flavor profile of your whiskey. Experimenting with different ratios of grains is one of the joys of making homemade whiskey, allowing you to create a truly personalized spirit. Just as important as the grains themselves is the water you use. Water makes up the majority of your mash, so its quality is paramount. Use clean, filtered water free of chlorine and other impurities that can negatively impact the flavor of your whiskey. The mineral content of your water can also play a subtle role in the final product, so consider using spring water or bottled water for the best results. Finally, yeast is the unsung hero of whiskey making. This microscopic fungus is responsible for converting the sugars in the grains into alcohol during fermentation. Different yeast strains can produce different flavor compounds, so choose a strain that complements your chosen grains. A good quality distiller's yeast will ensure a healthy and efficient fermentation, leading to a more flavorful spirit. Mashing is the process of converting the starches in your grains into fermentable sugars. This is achieved by carefully controlling the temperature of the grain-water mixture, activating enzymes that break down the complex starches into simpler sugars. The first step is to crush your grains, increasing their surface area and making them more accessible to the enzymes. A roller mill or a grain crusher is ideal for this task, ensuring a consistent crush without pulverizing the grains into flour. This crushed grain, called grist, is then mixed with hot water in a process known as mashing in. The temperature of the water is crucial, as different temperature ranges activate different enzymes. Maintaining the correct temperature throughout the mashing process is essential for efficient sugar conversion. A mash tun, a specialized vessel with a false bottom for draining, is ideal for this purpose. The mash is allowed to rest at specific temperatures for specific periods, allowing the enzymes to work their magic. Once the mashing process is complete, the sugary liquid, known as wort, is separated from the spent grains. This is typically done by draining the wort through the false bottom of the mash tun. The wort is then cooled and transferred to a fermentation vessel, ready for the next stage of the whiskey making process. A fermentation is where the true magic of whiskey making happens. This is the stage where the yeast converts the sugars in the wort into alcohol, transforming the sweet liquid into a potent brew known as the wash. After cooling the wort to the appropriate temperature, typically around 70 to 75 degrees Fahrenheit, the yeast is carefully pitched into the fermentation vessel. The yeast will begin to consume the sugars, producing alcohol, carbon dioxide, and various flavor compounds. The fermentation process can take anywhere from a few days to a couple of weeks, depending on the yeast strain and the temperature. It's important to maintain a consistent temperature during fermentation to ensure a healthy and efficient process. Monitoring the specific gravity of the wash using a hydrometer is a good way to track the progress of fermentation. The specific gravity is a measure of the density of the liquid, which decreases as the sugars are converted into alcohol. When the specific gravity stabilizes, it indicates that the fermentation is complete. Once fermentation is complete, the wash is ready for distillation. This fermented liquid, now containing a significant amount of alcohol, is the raw material that will be transformed into whiskey through the process of distillation. Section 5. Distillation, separating the spirit. Distillation is the heart of the whiskey-making process. This is where the alcohol is separated from the wash, concentrating it into a more potent spirit. The wash is heated in a still, causing the alcohol, which has a lower boiling point than water, to vaporize. This vapor is then condensed back into a liquid, now with a higher alcohol content. Whiskey is typically distilled twice, sometimes even 3 times. The first distillation, known as the stripping run, separates the bulk of the alcohol from the wash. The second distillation, known as the spirit run, is more precise, allowing the distiller to separate the different components of the distillate. These components are known as the heads, hearts, and tails. The heads are the first portion of the distillate to come off the still, containing volatile compounds that can impart undesirable flavors. The hearts are the middle portion, containing the desirable flavors and aromas that define the character of the whiskey. The tails are the final portion, containing heavier, less desirable compounds. The distiller carefully collects the hearts, discarding the heads and tails. This collected spirit, now significantly higher in alcohol content, is the new make whiskey, ready for aging. Section 6. The Angel's Share Maturation and Magic. Aging is where the new make whiskey truly transforms into the spirit we know and love. The new make, clear and fiery, is filled into oak barrels, typically charred or toasted on the inside. The interaction between the whiskey and the wood over time is what imparts the color, flavor, and aroma that define the character of the final product. The type of oak used, the level of char or toast, and the length of aging all play a crucial role in shaping the final flavor profile. American oak, commonly used for bourbon, imparts notes of vanilla, caramel, and coconut. European oak, often used for Scotch whiskey, contributes flavors of spice, dried fruit, and chocolate. The aging process is a slow and patient one, taking anywhere from a few years to decades. During this time, the whiskey interacts with the wood, extracting flavors and color. Some of the whiskey evaporates through the wood, a phenomenon known as the Angel's Share. The climate and environment of the aging warehouse also play a role, influencing the rate of maturation and the final flavor profile. Regular monitoring of the aging whiskey is essential to ensure it's developing as desired. Tasting samples at regular intervals allows the distiller to track the evolution of the flavor and aroma, and to determine the optimal time for bottling. Section 7. Bottling your bounty, the final flourish. Once the whiskey has reached its peak maturity, it's time for bottling. The aged whiskey, now rich in color and flavor, is carefully removed from the barrels. Before bottling, the whiskey is typically diluted with water to reduce its alcohol content to the desired bottling strength. This dilution is done gradually, allowing the whiskey and water to integrate fully. Some distillers also choose to filter the whiskey before bottling to remove any remaining sediment or impurities. Filtration can impact the flavor and texture of the whiskey, so it's a decision based on personal preference and the desired style of the final product. Bottling is the final step in the whiskey-making journey. The diluted and filtered whiskey is carefully bottled, labeled, and sealed, ready to be enjoyed. The label should include information such as the type of whiskey, the mash bill, the age statement if applicable, and the bottling strength. Bottling your own whiskey is a moment of pride and accomplishment. It's the culmination of months or even years of hard work and patience. Holding a bottle of your own whiskey in your hand is a truly rewarding experience, a testament to your dedication and craftsmanship. Section 8: Common pitfalls and how to avoid them. Making whiskey is a rewarding process, but it's not without its challenges. Beginners often encounter certain pitfalls that can negatively impact the quality of their final product. One common mistake is improper temperature control during mashing. Maintaining the correct temperature throughout the mashing process is crucial for efficient sugar conversion. Invest in a good thermometer and monitor the temperature closely, making adjustments as needed. Another common mistake is poor sanitation. Cleanliness is paramount in whiskey making. Any bacteria or wild yeast can contaminate your wash, leading to off flavors and spoilage. Thoroughly sanitize all your equipment before each use and maintain a clean working environment. Improper distillation techniques can also lead to problems. Collecting the wrong fractions during distillation can result in a harsh and unpleasant spirit. Carefully monitor the temperature and the flow of the distillate, collecting only the heart cut. Finally, rushing the aging process can result in an underdeveloped whiskey. Patience is key in whiskey making. Allow the whiskey ample time to mature in the barrel, interacting with the wood and developing its full flavor potential. Don't be tempted to bottle it too early. The rewards of patience will be well worth the wait. Section 9: A toast to patience and experimentation. Making whiskey is a journey of discovery, a blend of science and art that requires both patience and a willingness to experiment. Don't be afraid to try different grain combinations, yeast strains, or barrel types. Each experiment is an opportunity to learn and refine your technique, creating a whiskey that reflects your unique palate and vision. The process of making whiskey is a slow and deliberate one, demanding careful attention to detail and a respect for tradition. It's a journey that unfolds over time, rewarding you with a spirit that embodies the essence of craftsmanship and dedication. Embrace the challenges, learn from your mistakes, and celebrate the small victories along the way. Experimentation is the key to unlocking new flavors and pushing the boundaries of what's possible. Try adding different spices or herbs to your mash, or experimenting with different aging techniques. The possibilities are endless, limited only by your imagination and your willingness to explore. Remember, the joy of making whiskey is not just about the final product, but about the process itself. It's about the satisfaction of transforming raw ingredients into something special, the connection to a centuries-old tradition, and the shared experience of raising a glass with friends and family, knowing that you created the spirit you're enjoying together. Section 10: The joy of crafting your own dram. There's a profound satisfaction that comes from sipping a glass of whiskey that you crafted with your own hands. It's a moment of pride, a testament to your dedication and skill. The flavor of your homemade whiskey will be unlike any other, a unique expression of your creativity and passion. Sharing the spirit with friends and family is a special experience, allowing you to share not just a drink, but a piece of yourself. The journey of making whiskey is a rewarding one, full of challenges and triumphs. It's a process that connects you to a rich history and tradition while allowing you to express your individuality and creativity. Each batch is a new adventure, an opportunity to refine your techniques and explore new flavor combinations. The knowledge and skills you gain along the way will become a cherished part of your whiskey-making journey. The ability to craft your own whiskey is a privilege, a chance to create something truly special. It's a skill that can be passed down through generations, creating a legacy of craftsmanship and passion. As you savor each sip of your homemade whiskey, you'll not only appreciate the flavor, but also the time, effort, and dedication that went into creating it. So, raise a glass to the joy of crafting your own dram. Celebrate the process, the challenges, and the triumphs. And most importantly, savor the unique and personal flavor of your homemade whiskey, a testament to your passion and skill. Cheers!